Facebook, you join us here on the red carpet at the BAFTAs. It is rather cold, but we're all wrapped up warm. I can't say the same for the celebrities. We're going to be here. We'll just show you some pictures of who's next to us at the moment. The lovely Nicole Kidman, who hopefully we should be speaking to in just a second. But basically, just so that you understand what's going to be happening on, we're going to be talking live on the television. So if you have any questions for us while we're not on TV, I will try my very best to answer them and put them to the celebrities that are here. If not, you're going to see a sort of rough and ready feed of what's going on backstage here on the red carpet. So in a moment, we're hoping to, on TV, be talking live to Nicole Kidman. So I might just leave you for a little bit as I try to wrangle getting Nicole Kidman on TV for us in just a second. So yes, bear with us, but do send in any questions if you've got any comments. Right. At the same time as talking to you Facebook, I'm just going to be talking to the gallery as well. Chris, can you hear me in the gallery? Hello, Nicole Kidman is just here, as you can see, so hopefully we're going to get her in maybe a minute. Probably less than that, actually, Chris. Oh, it's coming to us now. Nicole Kidman, can I just talk to you? Katie from Sky News, very nice to talk to you. They're just cutting to the break. Can I talk to you in just a second, because they're about to run off with you anyway?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You want me to stay?
Oh, in 20 seconds. 20 seconds. Sorry, Nicole. Thank you.
How are you?
I'm good. I have to say, Lion is my favourite film out of all of the ones.
Really?
Yeah, I love it.
I love the movie, so I'm just glad that it's being, embraced now.
So sunny. Sunny. So gorgeous.
We love Sunny.
Yeah. Hello, can you hear us live in the studio? It's very loud here at the moment, but I'm joined by none other than the lovely Nicole Kidman. We were just talking about how much I love the film Lion. Lion is just a beautiful film, Nicole. Congratulations.
It's a beautiful film, and I'm so glad people are going to see it and responding to it in the way that they are, because it was made with love.
How did you come across the story? Had you read the books before, or was it sort of,
No.
It was brand new to me, and I was just shocked that this was someone's real life that this had happened to.
No, I was lucky enough to, my Australian agent called and said, I think you're going to like this script that I'm going to send you. And I read it and I just went, wow. And then it kind of, one thing, I think when films fall into place easily, that's always a good sign. And this fell into place easily. And then I got to meet Sue, who I play, and I just connected with her. And she's become a very close friend of mine. And I'm just very fortunate that she is happy with the portrayal.
For those that won't have perhaps seen it yet, it's about a young boy who gets separated from his family over in India. All he can remember that his mum is called Mum. He can't actually remember what his actual family name is. And then fast forward 20 years and he's been adopted by an Australian family.
Yes, and he lives in Tasmania.
Yeah.
But he always thinks about his mother. Oops. And it's okay. And then he goes on this journey to find her and actually manages to find her, which is extraordinary, and he does it through Google Earth.
The director was fairly new to this as well. He's directed adverts before, hasn't he? But this is his first sort of big feature
film.
And it's beautiful.
Fabulous. Yeah, and just for him to be launched into the world this way is such a... I mean, it's lovely to watch. He's going to go on to a massive career. I'm just glad to be in his first movie.
Enjoy the BAFTAs. Thank you, Nicole. Very nice to meet you. I have to say, as much as everyone is raving about La La Land at the moment, Lion is one of my favourite films this year. So definitely, it's worth going to cinema and seeing that one if you haven't checked that one out yet. Do you know what? It's a funny one, this one. I sort of suspect it could go either way. Because this is a British award ceremony, I suspect we won't see the political sentiment of the speeches come out quite so much. At the Golden Globes, of course, we saw that fantastically bold speech by Meryl Streep talking out against Donald Trump. This time around, it's Emma Stone is sort of the one that's tipped to win for La La Land, and we haven't really had that same sort of political statement come out from the cast of La La Land, because it is more of a light-hearted affair, really. I suspect we won't see it come out quite so much, but certainly talking to people on the red carpet, there is a feeling really that people are a bit fed up really that they were criticised so much, actors were criticised so much for daring to speak out. They certainly have, the people that I've spoken to, certainly Barry Jenkins, the Moonlight director, said why shouldn't people have be able to express an opinion? This is something that affects us all, from a sort of your bin men to your famous actors, so why shouldn't people have an opinion?
Not BAFTA nominated, but she is Oscar nominated. Ron Howard, well done on
No
your
worries, thank you. Right, hello, Facebook. I'm returning to talk to you now, so sorry if this is a bit of a weird combination, but we're about to get Isabel Hooper from Elle. Isabel, thank you so much for talking to us. Congratulations on all the attention that Elle has been receiving. It hasn't come out here in the UK yet, so for audiences that won't have had a chance to see it yet, explain a bit about the premise of the film.
It's due in March 10th, I think, here in this country, and let's say it's an exploration of a woman's journey to which happens some kind of a very strange event. I'm not going to unveil the story right now, but
Can you say she's the victim of a rape, isn't she?
But she wants to take control of what happens to her, and she doesn't want to be a victim.
The victim.
And she has an own plan on how she's going to take revenge. But of course, meanwhile, she develops a kind of very strange relationship with this man.
When you read this script, was it just such a unique script to read? Did you think, well, this is painting a rape victim like we've never seen on film before?
Well, actually, I haven't read the script first. I read the book first.
Right.
It's a book by a French writer, Philippe Dion. And I love the book. I immediately saw the potential of the story. And of course, it's a story about this woman in particular. But meanwhile, it says a lot of things about mechanisms of violence in our society. It's also a very elaborated story, and it's not to be taken as a realistic story about that woman in particular. It's a lot, I would say, broader than that.
I think a lot of people in this country are very excited to see it. Thank you. Very nice to meet you, Isabel. Thank you. And Facebook, we've got the lovely J.K. Rowling down there, so hopefully in a minute we'll be talking. Vigo, thank you so much for talking to us today. Congratulations on your BAFTA nomination. Firstly, as BAFTAs, it is always a ceremony that's quite enjoyable to sort of be a part of.
Yeah, well, and that it's in the Royal Albert Hall. I've never been inside, so I'm looking forward to it.
Though. It's one where it's not as nice as
freezing inside.
It's a bit drafty. It's quite an old building. We're famous for this.
It doesn't seem that cold to me. I was raised in snow country, so this is nothing.
Firstly, then, what do you make of the crop of films that we've had over the last year? There's some uniquely creative, sort of excellent filmmaking that's happened in the last year.
Yeah, there's quite a diverse group of nominees, and
for you, what have been the standout ones? I mean, were you a La La Land fan? Are you into musical?
To be honest with you, I think the movie, there's several moments in all of the movies that are really good, but as movies that are, as a whole, well edited, directed, acted, music, my favorite two are Moonlight and Captain Fantastic.
We're being told you're about to be dragged away any second now. Before you go, I have to say though, a lot's been made of actors have sort of come in for a bit of stick for daring to sort of speak out against Trump this award season. Do you sort of feel like it's your time to have a speech? You should be able to say whatever you want at that moment?
I always think I can say whatever I want, and I do so. I don't feel any need to mention our so-called president at this point. He's not part of this, and he's not invited, fortunately, and I don't need to talk about him.
Thank you so much. Have a good evening. Good luck.
Okay.
Damien, thank you so much for talking to us. This is turning into a sort of a conveyor belt of interviews that we've got at the moment.
My pleasure.
And La La Land, the attention that film has got then. What do you make of the way that it's been received around the world? Audiences are absolutely loving it.
I'm thrilled. I'm a little, still a little stunned. But it's been an incredible few months of just kind of taking the movie around the world. It's been amazing.
Do you think that perhaps it's the timing of this film that seems to have struck a chord at the moment? People are enjoying that chance to have a bit of escapism, a bit of sort of going off into that sort of Hollywood beauty.
I mean, in some ways, unfortunately, I think that might be the case. I think the world is in a difficult place right now. So, yeah, I hope that maybe this movie can provide some small amount of, hopefulness or some small amount of joy, I hope.
For you, this was a movie that you'd wanted to make for a long, long time, wasn't it? And Justin, who did the musical score, you'd known him for some time as well. So this was an idea that you always thought, well, these films are a part of what Hollywood does well then, was it?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a part of what Hollywood used to do well, the kind of the tradition of the original musical, but it's been so long since we've had, a kind of full-fledged original musical on screen, so that was just a dream of ours to do one and do it in a way that married old and new,
And firstly, we're all expecting Emma Stone to pick up Best Actress. She's really deserves it this year, doesn't she?
I'm a little biased. I think she does. I think the world of her. Working with her was just an experience like no other. And I think she astonishes everyone in this role. So my fingers are crossed for her.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Damien. Good luck tonight.
I'm going to come to you live in 1 minute.
Hello. I don't know if you can hear me. It's suddenly turned into the loudest red carpet ever. So many celebrities are here now at the moment. If we just flip the camera this way, you can see the lovely Damien Chazelle, the director of La La Land, here. We're hoping, in a second, if we flip the camera this way, to get the very beautiful looking Dev Patel talk to us in a minute, who's of course nominated for the film Lion, a fantastic film, and I have to say, as much as everyone is talking about La La Land, Lion is every bit as good. It's a very exciting, very interesting story based on real life events. The film's sort of split into two halves. The first half is this tiny 5-year-old Indian boy and the story of how he gets lost. He ends up wandering onto a train and gets stuck on the train for 2 days and ends up in Calcutta and can't find his way home. Then fast forward 20 years into the future, and he's actually been adopted by an Australian couple, but he's always had this sort of nagging thoughts that whether or not his mum and his brother are still looking for him, and he sort of can't quite come to terms with the fact that although he's in a sort of better, happier place over in Australia, he can't quite come to terms with the fact that his family might still be looking for him. I'm going to grab Dev right now that I've set that up for you. Dev Patel. Thank you so much, Dev. We're live on Sky News at the moment. Good timing this. I have to say, as much as...
You hear that? It's crazy.
I can't hear anything anymore. As much as everyone's talking about La La Land, Lion is my favourite film this year. It's fantastic.
Thank you.
When you came on board with this story, had you heard what's happening? Someone very exciting is here. When you came on board with this, had you heard the real story before?
I'd been sent a news article and was completely blown away and obsessed from that moment onwards, to the point where I was knocking on the screenwriter's door trying to get an audition.
Because it is just a remarkable tale, isn't it? How he set about attempting to find his family 20 years later after going missing.
It's a tale of resilience and love in mothers and sons and so many other good things, so yeah.
And you actively sort of knocked on the screenwriter's door to try and get this?
I did, yeah. Absolutely.
And what were they ready and waiting for you? Or?
No, I kind of had to jump through a few hoops because as our director Garth Raisin said, he didn't want the guy from Marigold Hotel. And so I had to prove to them that, I'm indeed, I can be versatile. And that was, kind of the best parts of this, is to be able to get the role and it be kind of appreciated like this, by my peers. It's very overwhelming and humbling.
I believe that's Emma Stone, apparently, that everyone is screaming out. I'm being told in my ear.
I might start screaming.
And I might just ask you quickly about La La Land as well. In La La Land, there's a whole thing about these horror auditions and the pain of putting yourself through the humiliation of what goes on. Have you ever had any auditions like that where you just wish?
So many. Like, it's littered with failed auditions in my small career, but one doesn't come to mind, but I'm crippled by fear, and those things are just the worst,
Deb, thank you so much. Good luck tonight. It's a brilliant film. Thank you so much for talking to us. Yes, it's filling up on the red carpet, so we will try and find some more people to grab so that we can talk to. Oh, hang on, Hugh Grant's over this way, so if you perhaps want to stick with us, we'll try and get Hugh Grant for you. He's, of course, nominated for Florence Foster Jenkins, along with the lovely Meryl Streep. Hugh, thank you for talking to us. We're live on Sky News at the moment. Don't swear or be naughty or anything like that. Firstly, then, how does it feel to be nominated tonight?
Yeah, what a pleasure, what a thrill. Very unusual for me.
I mean, it is a role that everyone you speak to says, Hugh Grant is phenomenal in this. It is a role of a lifetime for you.
Well, it was a brilliant part on the paper. And of course, the dirty secret of all these award ceremonies is that really the nominations and prizes go to the best parts, not to the best actors. There's thousands of really good actors. It's all about how good is the part.
And you get, of course, to work with the fantastic Meryl Streep. I mean, we see her making these brilliant speeches at things like the Golden Globes. Is she that sort of confident and kick-ass in real life, really?
She's quite a militant Mary, yeah.
Yeah. And she's nominated tonight as well. What do you think of the whole debate that a lot of people are having about whether or not actors should make these big political speeches?
I don't see why they shouldn't. I've always regarded them as human beings, but maybe I'm wrong.
And everyone feels like they should be entitled to an opinion at the moment.
Why would anyone not be entitled to an opinion?
Brilliant. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Good luck tonight.
Yeah.
Very nice to meet you. Fantastic. So at the moment we've got Ken Loach down here and we've got Andrea Garfield. So actually we're going to just keep rolling, I think, until we lose interest. But yes, Ken Loach is here, nominated of course for I, Daniel Blake. It's up for so many awards. And while everyone is, of course, going crazy about La La Land, you never know. I, Daniel Blake has been incredibly well received at all of the film festivals this year. So it could upset the apple cart a little bit. We are expecting a few surprises from this ceremony tonight. It's a bit of a tricky one to call, really. I'll get back to it in a minute. I'll just get you Ken Loach for you before he moves on. Ken, can we just talk to you quickly? We're live on Sky News. Thank you so much for agreeing to talk to us. Very nice to meet you. I, Daniel Blake, a fantastic film. It's been so well received at all of the film festivals across the year. I think everyone's secretly hoping that you might upset the apple cart tonight and just beat La La Land.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you don't make films to compete against other films. You make them for the audience. But it certainly helps encourages people to go and see a film when there are events like this. So this is terrific for the film and everybody associated with it.
I mean, in many ways it is a very British film because it's something that is going on within our society at the moment. But what do you make of, certainly within Europe, it has been incredibly well received with non-British audiences as well, hasn't it?
It's a subject that isn't confined to Britain. I mean, it's about the way the most vulnerable people across Europe and across the world suffer. Big business doesn't care what colour you are or where you're from. If they can exploit you, they will. And the people at the bottom of that pile are the ones who are really suffering. So it's very odd to be at an event like this, dressed up, in this fancy clothes, when we've done this film. But it's part of the contradiction of the film business.
For those people that have criticised people like Meryl Streep for standing up on stage and expressing a political opinion, do you think she was perfectly within her right to actually make that statement. Do you think now is the time that people want to perhaps speak about what's going on?
I think people who make films, like writers and actors, are as competent as journalists to say what they think, as competent as politicians, as competent as anyone. And there's a great public discourse, and films can contribute to that. We're part of the atmosphere, part of the ideas that are put forward. Same as journalism, same as novelists, same as painters, same as everybody. We all contribute, and of course journalists feel threatened when people know a bit more than they do. So they're a bit anxious, particularly the far right ones, and they don't like hearing a bit of radicalism. Well, let's hope they hear a bit tonight, and let's hope they choke on it.
Just quickly before you go as well, I read it's something like, isn't it the 50th anniversary since your first nomination of a BAFTA? Is it really 50 years?
It's about 50 years. It might be a bit more actually. I think we got one from about 1965, so it's a long time really. We were all in short trousers then.
And how have you maintained your career this far? How have you managed to stay so?
I've been lucky. I've worked with brilliant writers, like Paul Laverty over there. Pan the camera to Mr. Laverty. I've kept going because people like him and Rebecca O'Brien, the producers, don't give me a moment's peace. And I'm trying to get into an old folks' home, but they keep tipping me onto the street. So there you go.
Ken, we're secretly rooting for the Brits, so good luck tonight. We'll keep all of our fingers crossed. Thank you so much. Ken Loach there, nominated, of course, for I, Daniel Blake.
She's there. Garfield and Amy, don't forget we're still live.
Thank you.
Andrew Garfield and Amy Adams not doing any.
We bring Hayley here and then Emma's going to work her way down.
Okay. Yeah, fabulous. Good to know. All right, Emma Stone is coming up. She's 2 crews away from us. Hello, Facebook, if you're still watching as well. Sorry if this is a little bit of a... Joined by Hayley Squires. Hayley Squires, thank you so much for coming to talk to us tonight. How does it feel, firstly, then, to be up for Best Actress?
It's very nice to be up for the Best Supporting Actress with some wonderfully talented and articulated women. It makes me feel like a grown-up. It's quite nice.
I was just re-watching I, Daniel Blake last night. It is such a fantastic and touching performance that you give in that film. For you, was this a role like none other?
Yes, it was. I was working with a group of people that I knew I was never going to find again to be able to work with. And Paul has written a character who was so 3D and had so many layers and had such a story and a journey. And to find a woman in her 20s with that kind of journey is rare in British film at the moment, unfortunately. So I was very grateful for that.
I mean, in many ways, the film sort of manages to do something that perhaps we can't get across on news stories when we're talking about things like food banks. What do you make of the reaction that you got from people by sort of showing this side of what's going on in Britain?
It's been fantastic. People have really taken it into their hearts, and there's been a real outpouring of people's reactions to it. They've recognised something in their own lives or in lives of people that they know, and also an education for people where a lot of people have come to us and said we just didn't realise it was so extreme the situation for people, and a lot of people trust Ken's voice, and so it was an outlet that means that people received it in a very real way, I think.
Thank you so much for talking to us. Best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And right, hopefully, very shortly, we're going to be getting the lovely Emma Stone. Yep. Okay. Right, hopefully any minute now. Yes, yeah, fine. Hopefully they're going to cross to us live as soon as Emma is with us. Okay.
sweating and teary and
Okay, perfect. Yep. Yep, she's coming now. Emma, thank you so much for talking to us. In 20 seconds, they're about to throw to us. I'm so sorry. We can do a little dance if you want. Or are you warm enough? Are you holding up okay? How long have you been in town for?
Since yesterday.
Since yesterday?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Hello, you join us here back on the BAFTA red carpet. If there's one woman that we all want to be speaking to tonight, I'm joined by her now, the lovely Emma Stone.
Oh my goodness.
Emma, thank you so much for talking to us tonight. How is it being at the BAFTAs then?
It's pretty overwhelming. It's very cold, which, immediately makes you stand up straight. And then, there's people yelling and there's lots of lights. It's an overwhelming experience for a sensitive person.
You've been here, of course, with Birdman before, and that got so much attention. This year, though, does it feel like another level? Everyone is talking about La La Land.
Well, it's very exciting. I didn't actually get to come to Birdman year, and so to be here with so many people from our film were recognized for this, so to get to all celebrate together kind of as a family is really, really special.
We have to ask you about the Best Actress category. You've got some stiff competition, but everyone is saying this is your year. If you win over the likes of Meryl Streep, how will you be feeling when you take to the stage?
Ridiculous. I don't know. Lightheaded, I'm sure, but I'm just happy to be here and to be, sitting in the same theater as these people.
Just before you go, was this a dream role to dance, to sing, to act with Ryan Gosling? How was the process for you?
It was we had 3 months of rehearsal, so it was this really great kind of deep dive of an experience, and I've loved to sing and dance since I was a kid and never was, going to maybe make it to super Broadway caliber, but what was so wonderful about this was that it didn't have to be technically perfect, and we got to just really work hard and explore, and it was really special.
It's a beautiful film. I think it's going to be one that people do remember for many years to come. Thank you. Very nice to meet you.
So
Don't get too cold.
Wash your hands. I have a cold.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Very nice talking to Emma Stone. Everyone is tipping her to win Best Actress, up against Meryl Streep though, so who knows? But pretty much everyone is saying it's Emma Stone's year, and look at her, she is absolutely stunning. We'll leave you having a look at Emma over in this way.
And it is expected once again that when people go up to stage they may
Right, are you still with us, Facebook? I am just going to have a quick flick through and see if we have any questions coming through. Okay, so the comments that people have made. What's the atmosphere like on the red carpet? It's pretty full on, I have to say. Should we have I'll introduce you to Amy Hitchcock, my star producer. Let's have a quick chat with Amy.
Facebook, how are you?
Amy, how would you describe this atmosphere? Chaotic?
People think that these things are very glamorous, don't they? And you look very glamorous, and she's got very glamorous feet. I think we should show everyone her shoes, Dave. I'm just talking to the cameraman.
Crippling myself with heels for no apparent reason.
Don't forget, we're here for 4 hours, not like the celebrities who spend probably half an hour on the red carpet. We're here for about 4 hours doing Facebook and telly and the website and all of Sky News. So they're not the most practical shoes, but it's worth it because she does look gorgeous.
Amy, before everyone leaves us on Facebook, your favourite film then out of the ones that are nominated here? It's a bit different to the Oscars, isn't it? Here we've got I, Daniel Blake, which has got a huge sort of number of nominations. At the Oscars, I, Daniel Blake isn't really up for that many. Is it up for any, actually? I don't think it is.
None. Americans just don't quite get it.
No.
But I think it's quite interesting because aside from La La Land, which is obviously the big runaway film this year, you've got films like Lion and films like I, Daniel Blake, which are very different, but at the heart of them are about people who are kind of left behind by society, and who society treats with contempt. And that was Ken Loach's point with making I, Daniel Blake, that people don't care about these people on the benefit system. And it was a similar kind of story with Lion, which I loved, about this kid who got lost and nobody cared about him, nobody helped him.
I was just so touched by Lion. A lot of these films that are nominated for the Oscars and BAFTAs, they reduce you to tears. Lion I cried so much, but
I was
they were
crying
good
myself.
tears.
Yeah, it's really powerful. And a similar kind of tale with Moonlight. Barry Jenkins, Dave's just swinging around to show you a bit more Emma Stone there.
There you go, yeah,
Blimey,
Emma
she's
Stone.
got quite a few sequins on that dress, hasn't
You've
she?
seen the length of her heels as well, the height of her heels. They're
Yeah.
worse than my ones.
She's pretty tall in those. But even Moonlight is a similar kind of story where it's about this young man who Barry Jenkins says people don't care about those people in society, and he wanted to tell the story of this young, poor, gay, black guy growing up in Miami.
All black cast as well. And if you flip back to the debate that we were all having this time last year with the Oscars as well, the Oscars so white row that happened, it is a much more diverse selection of actors that we're seeing this year, aren't we?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, last year at the Oscars there were no non-white nominees at all, and this year you've got 7. So the Academy, if nothing else, has certainly responded to the race round, and it was a similar story here. And even at the Brits, they had the Brits so white, the BAFTAs so white, the Oscars so white. So I think that's really positive and encouraging. Something that Viola Davis said was that what you have got is films which are entirely black casts. So maybe this is the first step in the right direction of still a fairly long way to go to have true integration between Hollywood and
Let's do what we're never meant to do and do our predictions then. If I was to pick a best film this year, I'd say I would go for Lion, just because it just touched me so much. Dev Patel is fantastic in it. Sonny, the young actor who plays the little boy that's lost in India, it's just heartbreaking to see him wander around the slums of Kolkata. So Lion is the one that I would go for. Amy?
Favourite film? I think the best film as far as filmmaking credentials goes, probably Moonlight. It was beautiful, it was incredibly well acted, incredibly well directed. I think La La Land will win tonight, but I predict that Damien Chazelle won't get Best Director. I think that will be Ken Loach. I love Ken Loach. He should win it. That would be wonderful if he does.
Right, Facebook, at this stage we will leave you. Enjoy your evening. We're going to go off inside at some point and watch the ceremony. We will leave you with shots of the red carpet.